And most humans are completely unaware that there is a dimension of consciousness in them that is deeper than their personality, their personal self. So they are trapped on the surface level of reality, and that is not a pleasant place to be.
We confuse signs, words, numbers, symbols, and ideas with the real world. Most of us would have rather money than tangible wealth, and a great occasion is somehow spoiled for us unless photographed. And to read about it the next day in the newspaper is oddly more fun for us than the original living. And all so-called civilized peoples have increasingly become crazy and self-destructive because through excessive thinking they have lost touch with reality.
Reality is the part of you that is eternal. And when you live there, you abide in an absence of fear. And you begin to know that life itself is a sublime experience, and there are no accidents in it at all. And that intelligence, whatever you want to call it, flows through each and every one of us. And the same intelligence that moves a star across the sky moves a thought across your mind.
We all must deal with that dark side of our nature, the positive side of our nature, and it isn't that it ever gets done or finished.
Which will put yourself out of your own control into the control of a better. If you don't believe in the Christian kind of a God, you can believe in the Hindu kind of a God, who is your inner self, the real self, the spirit, which is substantially identical with God. So you've got to meditate in such a way that you identify with your higher self. Now, how do you do that? Well, you start by watching all your thoughts very carefully, watching your feelings, watching your emotions, so that you begin to build up a sense of separation between the watcher and what is watched.
You cannot change conditions or circumstance. You don't have to let them control you. We can't control what's going on outside, but we can control what's going on inside. Unfortunately, I don't think many of us have been raised to really understand that. And it's a lack of understanding that's causing all our problems. We are the only creature on the planet that's totally disoriented in our environment. All the little squirrels, the birds, all the animals are completely at home in their environment. They blend in. You and I are totally disoriented in our environment. We've been given the mental faculties to create our own environment. However, we go right through school and we've never learned that. We have higher faculties, and the average person has no knowledge of how to operate with them. We have perception, the will, reason, imagination, memory, and intuition. Those mental faculties, they're not just words. They're actually mental faculties that we can use to take control over our world and to create the environment that we want. But unfortunately, we grow up, we don't know that. We've been raised to live through by what we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. We've been raised to be controlled by what's going on outside. As little kids, will you listen to what I'm telling you? Will you look at this? And so it's all outside. I think we're raised in ignorance, actually. There's a very small percentage of the population that have a reasonably clear understanding of who they are and what they're capable of doing. But the ones that do are in the minority.
It's so important for people to remember that they're the creators of their lives instead of the victim of their life. The victim is saying, I'm feeling this way because that person or that circumstance or I don't have any money is causing me to feel this way. That's my relationship with money. What that really means is I'm using my lack to reaffirm my dependency, my addiction, my conditioning. That's my relationship with money, is that I put my attention on money because I don't have it. Their relationship with money is, of course, built on lack. And so when they don't have it, they feel bad. What they're really saying is my outer environment, my reality is actually controlling the way I feel and the way I think. So Louis, why are you in a good mood today? Things are going good. Why are you in a bad mood? Things are going bad today. So this unconscious program of victimization is saying that we're allowing our environment to influence the way we feel and the way we think. Isn't that what victimization is? And the stronger the emotion we have to our lack, the more we put our attention on the fact that we don't have it. So then the person has forgotten that they're creating reality because what they're creating is lack. Okay, let's create from the field instead of from matter. Get a coherent heart, get a coherent brain, relax in the heart, and energy moves right into the brain. We've measured this 1,000 times, and all of a sudden the person moves into these beautiful, elegant brainwave states where they're super creative, right?
The future must become the present in the imagination of the one who would wisely and consciously create circumstances. I think right now everybody wants to create circumstances because they don't like the ones they find themselves in. But you see, you cannot change the circumstance you find yourself in. You can only change your perception of them. And when you do that, you change the circumstance. So we say here, the future must become the present in the imagination of the one who would wisely and consciously create circumstance. We must translate vision into being. Thinking of into thinking from. Imagination must center itself in some state and then view the world from that state. See yourself where we want to be and then be there. Thinking from the end is an intense perception of the world of fulfilled desire. That is so cool. Thinking from the end is an intense perception of the world of fulfilled desire. So what are we doing? We're building a goal, and then we see ourselves already having accomplished the goal. Thinking from the end is an intense perception of the world of fulfilled desire. Already got it. I don't have to get it, I've already got it. That's an intense perception of the world of fulfilled desire. In other words, you got it. It's here. Now think. Are you thinking from the end or are you thinking of the end? If you're thinking of the end, your thinking is way out there. If you're thinking from the end, you're part of it. See, the end result has already happened in our mind. We're creative beings. We're God's highest form of creation. We can create in our consciousness the kind of person we want to be and then be that person. And that's what he said here. We must translate vision into being. So we don't just visualize it, we be it.
The longer you're conscious of that energy, the more you draw that future to you. What does the synchronicity mean? It means whatever you're doing inside of you is producing that effect outside of you. Pay attention to what you did.
Keep doing
and do
more
it again.
Yeah.
So generate a little bit more abundance. Just do it for an experiment. Now, when the synchronicity happens, do you think you feel suffering or do you think you feel a little excitement? You feel inspired, right? Mm-hmm. So then that synchronicity is saying, use this energy, use this feeling. It should be easier for you to feel this now and go back and do it again. Mm-hmm. Keep the experiment going. Then here comes the promotion. Here comes the email. Here comes the person you meet at the right time,
yes.
right? Well, we have something happening here. And then that becomes the momentum, right? So then we generate abundance. That's how we do it. We generate abundance, right? So then if you have an hour meditation where you're tuning into your abundant future, but then you're spending the other 15 hours a day in lack, don't expect anything to change. You defaulted. Mm-hmm. You're back to the old energy. And if you say it's that person or that circumstance or that bank account, I'm going to say you're back to the unconscious program of being a victim, right? So then let's go a step further. If your personality creates your personal reality, and it does, and your personality is made up of how you think, how you act, and how you feel, then the present personality who's listening to this podcast has created the present personal reality called their life. Nothing big there. Which means if you want to change your personal reality, you're going to have to change your personality.
Right.
Nothing changes in your life until you change.
You do the math, you solve one problem, and you solve the next one.
And it doesn't matter how you get knocked down in life, because that's going to happen. All that matters is that you got to get up.
You have to get up.
Whatever experience you're having right now, it has not come to stay. It has come to pass.
I tell people, many people wait for greatness. And they believe we have all this time to live, but we only have a moment. And I'm telling you, kings and queens, it's time to go after the dreams that we want. It's time to conquer everything that we believe in and everything that we know is deep down in our soul, what belongs to us.
Then you consistently keep improving in that area from all the action, learning, and new intentions you are setting. Then, from all the improvements you are making, you start believing more and more. Greater intentions, greater beliefs mixed with action and learning creates amazing results.
Because when you see the invisible, you're able to do the impossible. Only those that can see the invisible can do the impossible. But if you want to begin to move into your own personal greatness, if you want to begin to really enjoy a happy, successful, healthy life, you've got to be willing to go against the tide. You've got to be willing to harness your will.
If you can stay hungry, you can get the resources. If you can stay hungry, you can get the strategy. If you can stay hungry, the ideas gonna come. If you can stay hungry, the connections will be aligned. If you can stay hungry.
And say, in spite of this, I'm in control here.
It all starts with honesty. Ask yourself what you've been lying to yourself about. Consciously admit that you've been bullshitting yourself about that thing and do everything in your power to go out and change it. You'll start to move forward and achieve that thing. You'll start respecting yourself more. You'll start carrying yourself differently. It ain't easy to do, but I promise you, it'll be worth it.
It is the chaos of the time that creates the conqueror in the man. So when God gets ready to reveal to you what you have in you, he will often place you in the midst of chaos to push you.
Why do you want to work out? What is your goal? The most important thing is that you have a vision, that you have a goal.
We can't work out without purpose. We need to get into our dress for the wedding. Summertime's coming, so we want to look all good. Our high school reunion's coming up, so we gotta lose weight. The biggest purpose in life isn't all that shit. It's how you respect yourself, how you look at yourself. That's an everyday journey.
Things that are difficult. When you do these difficult things, you're stressing your mind, or I should say, not even stressing your mind, exercising your mind and exercising your body's ability to manage intense situations. It's hard. It's very difficult. It's very testing.
Look at training as something that builds character, work ethic. Look at training as something that really builds confidence. Look at training that shows you how to fail and shows you how to get up and win.
If you stop working on yourself, your mind will grow weaker. You must make a commitment that nothing is more important than your self-development, because a stronger you is a better you, and a better you is better for everyone around you.
The truth is, most of the days I don't want to go to the gym, but I do, even though I don't feel like it. Doesn't matter if there's a fucking tornado, if there's a snowstorm, if there's a hurricane, if the fucking world is on fire, the job has to get done.
Every day, do something that moves you toward that goal, that keeps that goal alive and in sight and in focus. However small or insignificant that step might seem, take it, do it, make it happen, because that goal isn't going to achieve itself.
Tell the world one time what you're gonna do, and that's it. Spend less time talking and more time grinding. Think like a champion. Speak like a champion. And then walk it out. Grind 120 all day, every day.
Because you don't have to be great to start. But you need to start in order to become great. Start today on your journey to greatness.
It's what you do with what you have.
Are you capable of grappling with the fact that you're fundamentally flawed to the point where you have to break things down into almost childlike steps in order to manage them? And the answer to that is, yeah, you are.
Much of the time,
Our mind is like a balloon in the wind, blown here and there by external circumstances.
Sometimes you want to expand your style and like grow, and that's always good, but like never veer too far from who you are, you know, as a person.
I think a lot of what happiness is a management issue, and decisions that you're making right now, like you could be in a state of mind right now, but you could make some decisions to adjust that, and over the next couple hours, you'll get to a much better place.
I mean, those who have experienced the pains, difficulties, understand with their own experience the pains and sufferings of others too.
The most selfish thing you can do in this world is help someone else. Why is it selfish? Because the gratification, the goodness that comes to you, the good feeling that I get from helping others, nothing's better than that.
How will you serve the world? What do they need that your talent can provide? That's all you have to figure out. As someone who's done what you're about to go and do, I can tell you from experience, the effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is.
Tear down this mirror. Tear down this mirror that makes you always look at yourself. And you will be able to look beyond this mirror and see the millions of people that need your help.
And you will make a huge impact on the life of the street, the town, the country, and our planet. Choose to help on any given day, in any given cause. Incredible things will happen in the world you live in.
Perception can rewrite the genetic code. When you're under stress, you will rewrite your genes. It's built into every one of your cells. You have genetic engineering genes. The function of these genes is if you find stress that the body cannot seem to get out of, the body will make an effort to change its structure to get out of the problem. And of course, the issue is this. What if your perception wasn't real? And you change your genes? Now you're in deep doo-doo. And we now find a very important fact. 95% of cancer has no genetic linkage. 95% of cancer is a response of the individual cells to their experiencing life. And if you change your experiences, you can change the presence of that cancer.
You think 60 to 70,000 thoughts in one day. Out of those 60 to 70,000 thoughts that you think in one day, 90% of those thoughts are the same thoughts as the day before. So if you believe that your thoughts somehow are connected to your life, then the same thoughts always lead to the same choices. The same choices always lead to the same behaviors. The same behaviors create the same experiences, and the same experiences produce the same emotions. And those very same emotions drive the very same thoughts. And your biology, your neurocircuitry, your neurochemistry, your neurohormones, and even your genetic expression is equal to how you think, how you act, and how you feel. And how you think, how you act, and how you feel is called your personality. And your personality creates your personal reality. That's it. So then, if you wanted to create a new personal reality, a new life, then you would have to start thinking about what you've been thinking about and change it. You would have to become aware of your unconscious thoughts and observe them. You would have to pay attention to your automatic habits and behaviors and modify them. And you would have to look at the emotions you live by every single day that are connected to your past and decide if those emotions belong in your future. You see, most people try to create a new personal reality as the same personality, and it doesn't work. You literally have to become someone else.
prayer works, but not the way that you're praying. If I take you and connect a cap to your head with electrodes on it and connect that cap to a computer to read your brain waves, an EEG. I can read an EEG on your brain and see how your waves are functioning. I can tell you if you're in a low frequency state or a high frequency state based off of your brain waves. If you're an emotion of fear, doubt, anguish, begging, which is praying, the typical person begs when they pray, that's low frequency. Now, if I take you with that same exact technology and connect it to a computer, and to read your brain waves, and I have you in a position of upright power, understanding, commanding, unconditional love, happiness. Now it's going to be high frequency waves going to the computer. The universe reads waves low frequency and high frequency. It knows low and high, and guess what? It's going to give you back whatever you give it. You're running around here begging and pleading and hoping and wishing and scrapping around, you're going to get the same kind of garbage back in your life. Until you stand up and draw a line in the sand and command your existence, command your potential, command who you are, command your outcomes to happen, you're going to be suffering. The reason why I command my realities is because I know the power is inside of me. So I command myself. I don't get on an airplane and pray to arrive at my destination safely. I command I arrive at my destination safely. I command it. Why? Because the same power of the Creator is inside of my body. I don't, please help me make sure I get there right on time and I arrive safely. No, that's a slave's mentality. I'm not a slave. I got the power of the Creator flowing through every atom in my body. So that I have a fractal of that power in me, I'm going to command things with confidence. My prayer is, I command it. That's it. I'm done. That's the whole prayer. That's the whole prayer. There's nothing else for me to say. There's nothing else to say. Command it. Walk in your true power.
Another major assumption is that we're equivalent to genetic automatons. We have genes, they control us, we don't control the genes, and therefore we're sort of like victims of our heredity. You got cancer running in your family, you say, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get the cancer, I got the genes, or Alzheimer's, or diabetes, whatever. This is completely false, because it turns out genes control nothing. It's really the environment that is controlling the genes, and more importantly, our perception of the environment. How we see the world, what we think about the world is adjusting our genetics. So we find out disease, 1% of disease is connected to genetics. 90% or more of disease is connected to how we live in the world, because how we live in the world is altering or affecting our genetic activity.
So what we know and what we believe is changing our reality constantly.
Right, because the new science is called epigenetics. And what it means is this: our beliefs and how we see the world, we change our genetics. So rather than being victims, which we have believed all the way up to now, we are the masters. We change our genetics just by how we respond to the world. So we can change our responses, which means then we can change our genetics. So we're not victims. And one of the most personally exciting things that happened to my life was to recognize that I was not a victim of my genes or a victim of my society, that I actually am a creator of my life. And once understanding that nature and expressing that creativity, I profoundly changed my life from being a victim to being a master of my creation. And today, I have such a wonderful life that it actually has no comparison to the first 40 years of my life where I lived under the programming that I received as a child. Today, I've created such a joyous, wonderful life that I look forward every day to waking up to have another day on this beautiful planet.